All set? Hey, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting of March 14th, 2024 of the Newington Board of Fire Commissioners to order. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. No flags, so we have one on Frank's shirt.
Yeah, thanks.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I always start our meetings with memorial to all our fallen members, but this month has hit the Newington Fire Department pretty hard with a lot of sadness, and I'd especially like to pay attention to firefighter Freddie Callahan, that passed from us, firefighter Chucky Flynn from the Weathersfield Fire Department, that passed, not firefighter Chucky Flynn, but Chief Chucky Flynn, Chief Danny Nolan from the Hartford Fire Department, that passed before us, and to past member Gino Giansanti's wife, Julie, who passed. And also for the speedy recovery of Chief Jimmy Trommer, that he has a full and fast recovery. Thank you.
Amen.
A lot of sorrow in the last couple of weeks, and I don't even like picking my phone up anymore because I hate to have some bad news. Attendance is all set.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of January 9th and February 8th.
January 9th and February 8th.
Second.
Okay, the reason why that's 2 months is because we pretty much suspended all business last month due to the swearing in of Chief Giansanti. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public participation, anybody from the public like to speak? Anybody online want to speak? If you're online and you'd like to speak, just raise your hand and we'll get to you. Okay, no public participation. Moving on to communications, monthly communications. Commissioner DeMayo.
I have reports from Chief Jeffrey Trommer, activities for February 2024. I have reports from Deputy Chief Regina. And I want to just make one comment. Looking at Chief Regina's report, I'm just in awe on the last page that I was reviewing between the Wolcott Fire School, Hartford County, and the Connecticut Fire Academy, the amount of individuals from this department who are stepping up and taking a tremendous amount of classes. Just incredible. And I reviewed this non-incident event history report. This is awesome. You know, the information that you guys are being able to obtain now and put out certainly makes everyone's job a lot easier. I'm just amazed at the numbers that we're showing. 363 members over time have done training.
That's just for the month of February.
Yeah, oh, I know. 110 hours, if I'm reading that correctly. Manpower hours, 604.50. Unbelievable. So, thank you.
I agree.
I also have a monthly report for February from Fire Marshal DJ Zordon. And I don't see anything that needs to be discussed. I'm just interested in the way he has things laid out. especially with the projects that the fire marshal's office has been working on. And I know on the last page, under staffing, the town manager has approved the hiring of an administrative aide 2. And as of this date of the report, the job has not been posted yet. He also mentions that 2 members of the Newington Fire Department have become certified as fire code inspectors, taking a privately offered training program, have inquired about being appointed within the town of Newington. Discussion with the Board of Fire Commissioners is forthcoming. Respectfully submitted, DJ Zorn, Fire Marshal. So, report's complete.
Thank you, Commissioner Frank. All in favor of communications?
Did you say chief secretary?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in
Motion
fa-
to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Ledger status, Commissioner Stoddard.
I don't find,
My apologies. Forgot to shut it off.
I don't find any discrepancies in ledger status, so I'll make a motion we approve the ledger status as presented.
I will
Second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, turn that off. Apologies for that. Right. Old business. Radio system update, Chief Trummer.
The radio system has finally actually gone in a fast forward motion now. The firmware from Motorola has been approved 2 weeks ago. And actually, we've been on a fast forward motion to start getting a lot of stuff installed. Over the last couple of days, the antenna work for the base stations has been completed here at company 4s and company 5s. They will finish them up tomorrow at 2s and 3s. The new pagers are here. We're just waiting for the radios to be programmed. And it looks like tentatively, if everything goes right, they're gonna start installs in April. They're gonna start with a police department and then move to the fire department, which will be second. I would estimate roughly end of April, beginning of May, when the installs in our apparatus will start. And then it's training and so forth. I would think hopefully if everything goes right, July, August, we'll have a fully operational system.
Excellent.
If everything goes right. All the equipment is here. It's at I shouldn't say here, it's at Norcom. But everything's in a fast forward motion right now, so.
Great.
Good news finally.
Been a long time of coming and
I can't wait till it's done.
we're looking at the finish line.
We are, and it's positive. Everything's positive right now.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
Excellent.
I was here early this morning and when I drove in, I went, what is going on? It was like 6 Norcom trucks here.
Yeah, so so they started at 7 o'clock. What they tried to do was they were trying to do 3 firehouses at once today. That's why you saw so many trucks there, but they're usually anywhere from 2 to 4 trucks together to try to get the project done. But the installs look really good. They've done a great job. Like I said, ones, 4s and 5s is complete, 2s and 3s.
And what was that for, Chief?
That's for the antenna work for the control stations, which are the base stations. If you look, there's one here, one antenna here, and there's actually 2 antennas on the other side.
Okay.
And all the other fire, you'll have a single antenna. And that's for basically the radio system once for you.
Now,
Be able to transmit
is the
all that.
upstairs backup system still that's gonna switch over also?
Yes, so that will be switched over. We will not have an actual, dispatch center, but we will have the ability to be able to communicate out of that. Yes.
Okay.
And every office will have the capability of radio transmission in it also.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. All right, thank you, Chief. Grant updates.
Grant, the AFG grant has been submitted. for this year was submitted last Thursday. We got the receipt of submission, came to Chief Trummer. That's done. We are currently, I'm working with our grant writers again to see if we can put together a safer grant again this year.
That's out also, or
That
no?
just started.
Okay,
The other one was due by Friday. It was submitted Thursday. And the safer grant opened up the following Monday or Tuesday. So that is done. I'm currently working on support letters to go to our senators and Congress.
and what did we apply for, or what are we going to
Gear
apply?
washers and dryers for companies 3 and 4. So every firehouse will have a gear washer.
Okay,
We had tried to do the second set of gear being PFAS free. And that was nixed by the grant administrator, told us not to even bother because you're not gonna get it.
okay,
So we went back and the chief and I looked through the funding opportunities. And that was probably the only thing that we probably could have done for here, because there's such a tight window of high priority items that would fit our model.
okay,
So just so that, those are also CIP items that are in the future. That will actually be able to offset some of the CIP costs that we have going in the future. The problem, I mean, it's a good and a bad. The problem we have is we're ahead of the curve, meaning trying to meet our NFPA standard for 10-year gear and starting our second sets for our members. For other departments are behind the 8 ball and don't even have that criteria right now.
That actually hurt us.
That actually hurt us trying to go for the second sets.
okay.
Because there's other departments, many departments, that aren't even meeting that standard right now. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, unfortunately.
What are we going after for in the safer grant?
But we felt that because the electronic sign was a good hit and it's been productive for us, we're looking to do electronic signs at 2 degrees. We figured we already have the language, the legwork. We were successful with one. We're gonna try to do one in each of the other firehouses.
Excellent,
So we figure, since we've put that sign up, we've got roughly about 5 applications,
wow,
which is a positive thing for us.
beautiful,
So
home run. Excellent, thank you. Chief Regina, we can't leave you out. Update of tablets, transition Alpine software for the department, and we can see a lot of that in our reports that we get monthly,
Yeah.
which is a positive.
So there's a lot of things that are going on in the background and things that are still happening. Martin Wall has been heavily involved with Alpine and the program. I've been on the calls with them. They are done, just about done wrapping up the PMP report. So he can generate right off the system. He can do it at any time, any period of time, and get an accurate PMP without much effort. So that report was designed and built by them. Last night, Lieutenant Carlone pulled a meeting together on the work orders. Nico worked real hard to get that together, and town vehicle damages things, we were joking about it. Kurt Roseman had used, took a picture of what he was reporting in the work order to the town mechanic, drew with a pen, the highlighter on the picture, and then sent it to Tim. He knew exactly what he was talking about. So every time they do one of the work orders now, they're documenting it. Tim's using it now. We're getting back statuses of it. There's some little minor things that Alpine's working on to change. Like right now, the reports show up in green. If it's still open, like the seat, there's a change, yellow, little things like that. But crazy how much stuff is being done through there. If there's something broken with computers, they can do a work order there. It's just, and Nico's got it going all to the right place.
Places.
Cool.
Nice.
It's actually pretty cool where we are at. We're way ahead of any other department right now with all the features that we're running. We do have the new hydrant module in it. We are working closely with the ISO rep. Chief Stegmeyer, I did mention in the report, was able to contact someone in the MPC, and the PE or the engineer reached out and I introduced him to our ISO rep, and the two of them are talking now because she's never had a contact to deal with, so I'm hoping everything that we're doing is helping us get to that number two that Chief Carroll wants the department to have.
Nice. Wow.
There's a lot of things going on. It's crazy busy. It's amazing how much stuff is going on.
Awesome. Thank you, chief. And nothing else on that? So,
No, sir.
thank you.
There is one thing I just want to mention on that. I mean, Chief Regina has been working tremendous hours along with all the other staff that's been working on that. But I do want to say, we finally have operational all of our MDTs in our apparatus, our chief's cars, all of our admin positions. They're all 100% operational. They've been working out pretty decently. Guys are receptive to it. They like it because they can do it right, do all kinds of stuff right from the MDT. So I do want to thank the IT staff. They did work hard to get those to us. You know, I know it was a long process, but you know, it is a pretty positive outcome that we have right now. It's definitely benefiting our department in many ways.
Is it safe to say that we can pretty much take that off of old business now, or do you want to leave it on there? Because it's
I would
like
leave it on for a
we've
little-
crossed the finish line and
I'll
we're
leave it on for a little bit longer because Chief Regina has some other additional things, other additional items that we're looking to actually,
shut it off.
we're looking to do a couple upgrades that Chief Regina is looking to do. So just so we can keep it on the radar, keep it mentioned.
Thank you. Oh, so we'll leave it on for a couple more months.
Yep.
Thank you, chief. Autism fundraising.
We're pretty much at the end of the road for the autism. April, May is the timeframe. In all, I think after all the bills have been paid, I believe it's $10,000 that the department has raised for autism awareness.
Excellent.
So I believe Chief Stegmeyer will be looking to present a check to the group once we finalize all the numbers and so forth. You know, still have to take the wrap off the truck and so forth, but I believe that's the number he said the other night.
Excellent. Thank you. We'll leave that on for another month.
Yes, please.
Thank you. 24-25 budget review. Anybody like to make any comments on the 24-25 budget review?
As of right now, we went for a budget review with the town manager and the finance department. We went for a second meeting to give up a couple of cuts that we could potentially give them. Obviously, any cut to our budget is something that we don't like to see, but we did give concessions if we had to. And I believe right now it's at the town council level. They had their first review of it this past Tuesday. And I believe there's meetings coming up that will be discussing it going forward. But I believe we put a fair budget together and look forward to the town council reviewing it. And if they have any questions, obviously more than welcome to reach out to us for anything. There was one question that came up that Janet had sent me that came from Tuesday. I answered it and hopefully that went back to the town council for a review.
I know along with the other three commissioners up here, when we voted on sending the new budget to the town council, we were very prudent. It was fiscally responsible, but also it kept money in there to run our department, because I've said it before and I will not jeopardize the safety of any individual in this department, whether it's a chief, a firefighter, or a cadet. There's no amount of money that can replace one of our members. So safety, and if it's going to cost a few bucks to make our members that much more safe, then I'm all for it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in another month or so when the town council approves it. I believe we're going to be going in a good week or two, Kim, for budget review.
Yeah, I don't have.
It's a Saturday.
It's, yeah, whatever, 23rd, whatever, not Saturday, but.
I believe it's 23rd.
So,
Yeah, that's our, however, we're there for however long we need to be there
yeah,
with all the departments. Coming and presenting.
with the, coming and going of different town managers, it's been difficult, to say the least, but we're acting for everybody. And, I know Jamie, acting town manager, Jamie has been very good to us. She explains everything to us in a great way, and, hopefully we'll get through this without any, without too many getting beat up too bad. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens in April. But hopefully we have the support of the town council and the town manager moving forward. So thank you. Billing per call update. I know this has been on here for a while. There's been some quirks in the works with the company that we picked out of California. I think we may have to revisit it.
So just so I kind of dropped the ball a little bit on it. The contract was for 23. I have to reach out to him that now it's 2024 contract. He just has to update it, and once we get that paperwork, we'll get it going.
Okay.
But, by next month, I'm hoping to have it established. And
Okay.
working. So I'll reach out to the company and get it moving as fast as I can.
All right, thank you. Facility needs update.
So, obviously, we've been talking about facility needs for a while now, and it's crucial that we really need, and again, without a permanent building committee, it's kind of been hurting us a little bit in moving projects forward. There's two major things that we have to be looking at. Company fours is one of them. It's at a point where it's beyond its age and it needs to get replaced or renovated, one or the other. The second one is Chapman Street, and company three is for space needs. I've had some contractors come out and start giving me preliminary pricing on Chapman Street just to see where we're at financially, what it would cost us. Just rough numbers at this point, because obviously if it goes out, we're gonna have to go out to bid and all that other stuff. But we did have environmental testing done in the building. It obviously has asbestos and it definitely needs an abatement. It has lead paint in there. So the rough numbers just to get that taken out is $35,000. And then obviously the major work is the roof, the exterior, and the whole interior. So
All right.
I'm trying to get some preliminary numbers, that at least the town council has a rough number that they can use. But that's where we're at right now. But I think it's crucial, and I just don't know that order. I know we gave a space needs back to the past town manager and our priorities. I just don't know without this permanent building committee where we can go. And I know the town council has been over the last couple of meetings talking about that permanent building committee.
Yep.
And I think until that gets taken care of, I think we're kind of in a roadblock, if I'm not mistaken, unfortunately.
Do we, I can
You
speak
can
a little bit.
answer.
to that.
Yes, Kim.
Yeah, please.
What we have done, and I recommended it this past meeting, is create a committee of three of us plus John Trister's ex officio to look at the ordinance, the permanent building committee, and we want to make some changes. So we want to hop on that as quickly as possible because of the needs that you and other departments in the town are waiting on. So as soon as we can get that taken care of, it's not a complete, let's tear it apart and throw it away and start all over again. It's looking at what was put together and then how we can make some revisions that we think are going to make it work even better. We'll keep you updated, but I know we want to move that forward.
Yeah, but you did form a building committee for John Wallace, right?
We did.
Now, would have that had gone to the permanent building committee if you had one?
No, that was deliberation and one of our town attorneys looked at that and were able to
Okay,
create a separate
building
commission,
committee, yeah.
building commission for that. So,
If I'm not mistaken, that was because of the referendum, correct?
Correct.
That was part of that reason.
yeah,
Yeah, so.
and we need to move ahead. There's, with the funding, there are a whole series of steps that we had to go through and that we'll be going through. Everybody wants to get that.
Get it going, right?
As quickly as possible. But in terms of permanent building commission, yeah, we feel that that's important to have, but as I said, with some revisions to what we have at the moment. I don't think it's gonna go, it's not gonna take us months and months and months. That's my own opinion, and I'm on the committee. So we'll try to move it forward as quickly as possible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Just keep, feed it through me or Tim, you all know you're welcome anytime to come to, one of the council meetings and let us know what the needs are. I'm taking notes and I will go back and at the next council meeting, I'll report out. So
Okay.
want to keep the rest of the councilors and the mayor abreast.
Kim, can I, just a quick question, and here's something that I'm having a hard time understanding. Why we need a permanent building commission if we're talking about doing a renovation at Chapman Street. When we were told, and correct me if I'm wrong, supposedly there's money in the town budget to put a roof on Chapman Street. And if we're looking at abatement, $35,000 should come from,
Those are just preliminary numbers.
Right.
Obviously, but don't forget, that's just the abatement of the building.
yeah,
That doesn't include any of the work that has to be
Right.
done inside, the structural, the roof. So, I mean, you're talking significant amount of money, and I believe at that point, you would probably have to get architects involved and such and such. So I think that's unfortunately where I think that building committee comes involved.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, and I would think you would also want to go to the state, to our state reps at Gary and Kate and to Matt Lesser at the Senate and see if there's money that they can shake loose too.
Sure.
Correct.
okay. Perfect, thank you.
I can, we'll have a conversation
Okay,
about this because I'm curious to see how it falls under both the fire department and the
Okay.
town and the permanent building commission.
and or the historic district.
Exactly.
The only thing that makes me nervous about historical things is it has to be put back exactly the way it sits today. Pieces, parts, and it's a lot harder to do it that way than to sway a little bit. if you
Right.
want to say.
That hasn't been designated as an historical site, has it?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
The neighborhood area has been listed as that, so.
Maybe you want to
Yeah, we'd have to research
think
that.
about whether or not
Yeah,
you want it to be.
so.
Right.
Again, we'd have to look into that part of it, age, the whole nine yards.
Okay, all right.
Now, how much money was allocated for destruction of that property?
Yeah, so there was 185,000 put in there that is actually still in an account
Right.
for Chapman Street. And then I also, when John was acting facilities director, he had said he had some funding left over in a roofing
Right.
account that we could potentially use for the roof on that building. Whether that money is still there, I can't verify that 100%, so.
That's a,
Okay.
that's a significant amount of money that's possibly available.
Sure.
Okay,
I'll bring this back to John and we'll talk about it and maybe further discussion. And see what the decisions are once you have all of your answers.
Yeah, like I said,
and what you want to do.
I'm trying to get preliminary numbers just so you guys have it.
okay, all right.
I'd also like to add one thing, to, old business. If, we can take a vote on it, the commissioners, I'd like to add discussion about old engine one. All in favor?
Okay,
I'll,
Thank you.
we can add that to the agenda.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So Old Engine One, what's the story with
So I
Old
just
Engine
spoke to
One?
Hermes again today about it. I've been going back and forth with him for months now. He's tried to reach out to a couple different vendors, that have basically been giving him a runaround. He is now gonna list the fire truck on a nationwide, fire truck, magazine to try to sell it.
Okay,
And I told him that the finance department was looking for a status on that. He's already talked to Janet, I believe, from what he said to me today. So she's aware that he's working on it. So it's basically, he's looking for, I told him even if we had to reach out to John Walsh, to see if he could list it. So he's gonna work to try to get that done within the next week or two.
okay.
I did
Do,
say,
do,
I did say it was very important for us to get that sold as soon as possible. And no matter what, it's our decision at the end of the day, whether we accept the offer, or we don't accept the
Correct.
offer.
and that's why I'm wondering if, since, there hasn't been any movement in the last little bit of time, that, the department didn't want to take that over and go for it, since the highway department's busy or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I did talk to Hermes today about it, so let me see what he does in the next month, and then possibly we could take it over after that.
Okay, thank you.
I know unfortunately his mother's been sick, so it's.
Correct,
Yeah.
He's been in and out of the office a lot.
Okay.
So he's trying to play catch up, he told me,
all right,
so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
all right. New business, and I would also like to add one more thing for discussion under new business, and that is the town council mayor tour of the firehouses that we did in February. With
I'll make
that,
a
out any
motion to
objections?
amend the
No
agenda.
objection.
Thank you, gentlemen.
While you're amending the agenda, could you do one other one? Can you just put the approval of the ARPA funds from the town council, just so that's on there? So that it's part of your discussion?
Should that be under old business or new?
No, we can put it under new.
I don't
New,
know,
because it just
I don't
got,
know if it was ever under old business, just so that we have it there.
yeah, go ahead.
Without any objections, gentlemen?
Yes, yeah, no problem.
Thank you. ARPA funds. ARPA funds, let me write that down. Okay, for the first one, discussion of new state legislation pertaining to the fire department. So, a few weeks ago, myself and these two great people standing next to me, we went to the state capitol to testify on, a couple of bills that are coming out in the state legislature. One is for, a workman's comp policy for police and firefighters. We'll see where that one goes, for coverage on volunteer firefighters after a call. And the other one was for,
Taxes,
a
yeah.
tax abatement. I've been pushing this for many, many years through our state legislature and, representatives, and hopefully it'll go through. Like I said before, the town of Newington is very gracious in giving us a few perks with a stipend for our firefighters to help maintain and retain our members. But the state of Connecticut does nothing for us. And the state of Connecticut is 73% volunteer, with 26,000 firefighters in the state of Connecticut. 23,000 of them are volunteer. So there's about one firefighter, I figured it out, for like every 130 people in the state of Connecticut. So hopefully the state steps up and does the right thing by supporting their volunteers. It's dwindling, it's costing the town a lot of money. There's towns that have been volunteer for 100, 150 years that are being forced to go to paid, that are costing the taxpayers a lot of money. And since we went and testified, 5 new bills have come in front of the state for firefighters and volunteers for a credit toward a type of retirement. for community college. There's one for community college, there's one for the University of Connecticut for state colleges.
Yes.
They're moving in the right direction, and I look forward to going there and testifying any chance I get, because I feel very, very strongly for this, and we are at, I think, almost 105 years our anniversary, and I want to see Newington another 100 years,
Five. Yeah.
105.
7.
107.
Yeah.
And just for a little information to put out there, for a paid fire department in the town of Newington, it would cost us anywhere between $6 and $8 million in a rise in tax for the townspeople in Newington, and that's a big hit if we weren't volunteer. So you get a pretty good bang for your buck right now with what we do in services to the town of Newington. And it goes to the credit of our chiefs, our command staff, our line officers, our firefighters, and our cadets that put, as you could see today, there was just 600 something hours. That was in non-fire calls. Just last month, 600 something hours. So
What this tax bill would do would make any benefit that you got through the fire department non-taxable at the state level.
right, income tax level. So let's hope the state hears our cry and helps us out. And hopefully that'll bring new people into the firehouse and keep us old guys hanging around for a little while.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They were supportive.
Just a comment on that, I know Gary Turco has been a lead on a lot of these bills, and I can't thank him enough for what he's been doing. He's been keeping us abreast of all of the bills that have been coming on, even the fireworks bills that are going in place. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and not only Gary, but the other legislative
Kate,
members that have been working alongside of us with our department. I can't thank them enough. They are pushing it along. They are supporting them. So I want to thank them personally.
I feel like in the last 6 months or so, we have gotten great support from our local leaders at the town hall and our state legislature leads. Gary Turco, Kate Farr, and Matt Lesser. They bend over backwards for us, and they hear us. And it seems like lately it's been, they hear us yelling and they're doing something about it. So let's hope, knock wood, that this year, I know it's a short session, but hopefully we'll get something going on that. Anybody else like to comment on that?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
We made a pretty big impact, if I must say. I felt very good leaving there.
Yep.
And they were very receptive to our communications.
I know that they were very impressed, so.
We just don't come to these meetings on a Thursday of once a month. There's a lot that we do, believe me. Council.
I just wanted to say that I and Commissioner Sonic, you were there also this morning at the State of the Town meeting, and I think it was Gary, if not Matt Lesser, I think it was Gary who brought up the fact that you were all at the state capitol, and he talked about some of the legislation that's coming for the legislative body, focusing specifically on firefighters.
Yeah, it was Gary.
Thank you.
It's getting out there. I mean, quite a few people in the room, so it's getting out there.
Yeah, and like I said, for the budget that we submit every year for, one thing that a lot of people don't know is the Newington Fire Department is the largest department in the town of Newington outside of the Board of Ed. We're bigger than the Highway Department, the Police Department, the Parks and Recs Department. We have 110 members of this department with one of the smallest budgets in town. And I think the service that we provide is well worth the money that we get from the town.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anything else on that?
No.
Thank you. ARPA funds.
So just so we can discuss the ARPA funds, I want to thank the town council, the mayor, and anybody that was involved in the approval of the ARPA funds. The department received ARPA funds to upgrade our Scott pack, so we now have a monitoring device to monitor all of our firefighters for firefighter safety, for air consumption, and so forth. They also approved a thermal imager for every Scott air pack that we have in the department. And also to do the boiler and fire alarm system at the old firehouse of the museum. So I can't thank them enough. I know they've been working on it for months. It's approved. We've already put in the order for the Scott upgrades. We already put in the order for the thermal imagers. And we're working on the purchase orders for the boiler and so forth at the old, but those are big things for firefighter safety for our department, and I can't thank them enough for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Town council tour. So with the new town council coming into effect back in November, there was a lot of new faces. And town manager Jamie and Lauren. So we did an official meeting on a Saturday morning in February, and we all hopped on a bus, and it was such a great morning. It really was. And everybody was there. Almost everybody was there except for one counselor who had a prior engagement. And we toured everything that the fire department owns. I think it was a big eye opener for a lot of the counselors. They had no clue what we had, what we did. They didn't know our firehouses. There was one firehouse they didn't even know it was where it was or who owned it. So it was pretty funny. We showed them all the trucks, our equipment, showed them the computer systems. We came back here and gave them a quick overview. All of the chiefs were with us, and they all explained their piece of the pie. They were very receptive. We had a great
Couldn't get
time.
that training chief to be quiet.
Oh, yes, the training chief, yeah.
We won't mention any names.
And it was interesting, and this was not done on purpose. I promise you, town councilors, that we showed them our training facility, which is out at Milk Lane. And it just so happened that that Saturday morning at 9, 10 o'clock, there happened to be training going on. So it was cool for them to see that. And they also expressed interest in coming down when we do our live fire training. And that'll be coming up, I believe, in May. Chief, May, live fire in May? Chief Regina?
Yeah.
May? So that, hopefully we can give them a little hands-on with that. We showed them some new simulation fire techniques that we have this. I'm pretty impressed with it as a 40-something plus year member in here, and it's like a big kids game that we can use our cadets and non-certified firefighters in a real fire situation where it has, fake fire and this cool hose with laser beams, and it's really, really, really neat. And maybe we can get them grabbing a hose line and a Scott pack and trying it out. So I thank you very much for participating in that, and it was a great time. Thank you.
We also have one request also that we have to take care of, and that's to have our counselor actually go in one of our ladder trucks.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes,
We will
be taking you on the new ladder truck.
We will
Not
take care of it.
describing the
No, we're actually talking about going up the whole line there, so we will do that.
So just so you know, that Counselor Kathy Hall, when truck 2 was brand new, we brought it over to the town council chambers for a meeting, and that was not a bucket, and that was
The straight ladder.
the ladder. And Counselor Kathy Hall, climbed the ladder to the 100-foot mark, and we're all very impressed with it. But so we got you covered. Kim, we'll grant your wish very soon.
I was around when we got the first bucket, we all got a chance to go up. Anybody that wanted to, but, this one is like, has all the bells.
It does have some bells and whistles.
We'll definitely do
I
that.
don't know if every counselor would want it.
Anybody that wants.
We'll see.
So, and that's, anything else on the tour, gentlemen?
No.
No comments?
No, it went very well. They were
Very, very well.
I think everybody had it was very informative, from having the new counselors, there. And, I know that they learned an awful lot,
Yeah.
so.
I just want to say that I was impressed at how many questions were asked, and you all had answers for every one of them, and we're still talking about it. Everyone was really impressed and did learn a lot, so thank you. And I think, a lot of us are waiting to be able to go to one of the actual trainings and see, you you didn't let us go head first out of any of the windows.
The donuts weren't that bad either.
Donuts were pretty good.
Donut,
And
the
I-
Elmwood Bake Shop, you can't go wrong.
I also would like to say not only thank you to the commissioners, the chiefs, the captains, but also to the cadets. Because we had folks over at
Station.
Company 5,
Yep,
and they were there and they were gracious and they provided information and they are impressive.
and they had more donuts.
Yeah,
They did.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I think one of the stories from one of our cadets, firefighter Kontenko, whose family's from Ukraine, kind of hit home pretty hard. And here's a young man that came here from Ukraine, wants nothing more than in his whole life to be a fireman. And he's dedicated his time as a high schooler to give back to this town as a cadet.
He's in class right now.
And
Yeah.
he's now gonna be turning 18 very shortly. He's in Fire One class and his story is really cool. It's just a great human interest story. And I think it caught a couple of the counselors here and
Well spoken.
yeah.
very
He
well
is.
spoken, very well spoken. But that's this department, it's a family, it's friends, it's, all around great bunch of people. Anything else on that? Chief Regina, it sounds like you,
Other items just to mention, but I can do it in public. That makes sense.
okay. New business, all set?
All set.
Thank you, gentlemen. We're gonna close new business and move on to public participation for the second time. If anyone would like to speak,
Chief's got his hand up.
Chief Trummer.
I just, obviously on behalf of the command staff, I just want to congratulate the new police chief, Chris Berry. I know we've reached out to him, but I look forward to working with him. He's going to be a great asset to the police department and look forward to working alongside of him and his members. So I just want to congratulate him as part of this meeting.
Thank you, Chief. Chief Regina.
Couple quick ones. Chief Stegmeyer, Chief Trommer, all chiefs were invited to a event on Saturday, Taste of Ramadan.
Oh,
At the high school, we will be attending Saturday night. It's going to be a cultural experience for us. So it should be
Very nice.
looking forward to it. I'd like to comment on something that happened this morning. We were requested by the police department to assist EMS in getting into an apartment on Woods Edge. And I just received a thank you from PD, from a woman that sent the thank yous to PD, including, so if I could read it. This is a huge thank you to the fire and police departments. My bum knee, which will now not be replaced next Wednesday, gave out. I fell and broke a rib. The fire department, police, EMTs had to gain access to my patio. We threw a 24-foot ladder to get in her apartment. Because I couldn't walk at my front door, deadbolt was on. Yes, the patio was locked, but I managed to unlock it. And she's saying thank you. I won't mention the name.
Wow. Awesome.
That just happened. So nice of you to reach out.
Just one of the things that we do every day. Just another one of those things. We go, we do it with a smile on our face, we go home and wait for the next one to come in and do it all over again. Thank you, chief.
Thank you.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying like a couple months ago, where the variety of calls that we go to aren't just fires,
Lately.
Correct.
aren't just fires. We go to anything that they call us for, or they can't figure out whether to call the plumber, the electrician, it's, the fire department comes out, so. Thank you, chief.
Those guys will come.
And those guys will go to anything.
They'll go, yep. Anything else under public participation? Anybody online like to speak?
Just one last thing, just over the last couple of months, actually the last month, we've been a little bit busy with mutual aid calls also. We've had guys go to Rocky Hill that worked on structure fires over there. Guys did a fantastic job. The other night, we went over to West Hartford. Our guys actually went into they had a structure fire going on. Our guys actually went into a reported smoke in the building, pulled up with Hartford and Yukon to cover West Hartford. So our guys are all over the place. It's just not Newington we're taking care of anymore. It's just, you know, with the assets all over the state, we're going everywhere. It's not just us, you know, they come into our town too, but you know, the guys are doing a fantastic job. We're going out with full crews and just doing a bunch of work. So hats off to all of them. Also, myself, Chief Regina and Chief Stegmeyer are actually going to a meeting, I believe it's next week, with the West Hartford Fire. We're gonna be working on a combined effort with them to do like a summer camp for kids. For kind of like firefighting, teaching the basics. West Hartford reached out to us. We're gonna work with them, and it's gonna be an actual pretty good program, and we're looking forward to it, to work with them. You know, they reached out to Chief Regina and Chief Stegmeyer, and we're going over there to talk about it and try to come up with something. So good stuff.
Wow,
Hats off to everybody that's working in this department. So it's all
Wow.
good stuff.
It's nice to have a former member as a, what's he now, a deputy chief or
Deputy
assistant?
Chief, yeah.
Deputy Chief.
In West Hartford.
Yeah, just if I could add to that too, chiefs have been excited about the fact that they're able to use our collar. And impressed with that to the point where they're cleaning it completely when they're done. Making sure that's taken care of and doing so. But they've also offered, they would like to start training us. Interested to see how that works.
Interesting.
Just a comment on that, Chief Regina. I did talk to Chief Priest at the state capitol a couple weeks ago when we went and testified. And he couldn't thank me enough. He couldn't, how much professionalism there was in this town, and extending the offer to use the tower, because there's obviously can't be used for one reason or another. He must have thanked me a million times, and how grateful him and his guys were for us to do that. And that's what, like I said, that's what we're here for. Thank you.
It's been working out fantastic. They come in, as Chief Regina said, they come in, they do their thing, clean up after themselves, so no complaints whatsoever with them operating in our town.
That's
Town
awesome.
guys like it. They've had a couple calls they haven't responded to from there.
Well, good, good. All right. Anything else under public participation? That's it. All right. Commissioners' remarks.
I got a couple of remarks.
Commissioner Stoddard.
I thought that the testifying at the state capitol was very interesting. I thought there was a lot of support and a lot of good information. I mean, this was the Public Safety Committee, and we didn't just testify. We were just there to testify the bills that we were involved with, but there was other people with other bills. It was interesting, a lot of good information. And, you know, it wasn't too long ago that West Hartford wouldn't have thought of asking Newington for anything. So this morning, there was a gentleman at the State of the Town that said we should do more regionalism. And I wanted to stand up and scream about how much we do regionalism within the fire department service. I mean, not only the task force, but we do confined space for New Britain. We do calls now for West Hartford, I mean, and
We actually now also have an agreement with Plainville. That
yeah,
Yeah.
Plain needs their assistance, we're also able to go with them also, they're gonna come here. So we have an agreement with them also.
so that, I think we're setting the example for regionalism and we're really starting. And I don't think you need a regional administration. I think you just need the people to work together to make it work.
Exactly right.
We're very well respected in the capital region as a big asset.
Can I comment on your comments?
Sure.
Most of us here in the room know that there was always the thing between the paid and the volunteers, and for us to go to West Hartford, for West Hartford to come to us, it's just, it's such a breath of fresh air, because the walls are starting to crumble down, and I think Newington extends the hand to everybody. And if there's anybody department in this town that does more regional work, it's the fire department. We go to Weathersfield, Rocky Hill, Berlin, we go to West Hartford, now we're going to Plainville. We share our assets, we share our burn tower, so
We share our knowledge.
we share our knowledge. The chiefs are always together in meetings, in a like a 5-6 town area, to come up with ideas to help save money, to help to see what's better for the citizens of our area. And kudos, once again, kudos to the command staff.
And I really
Thank
think we have become such a professional fire department that they realize that we're professional and we're on the same level as they are. It's not just they're paid and we're not paid.
Yep.
You wanna talk about professional, Chief Regina can tell you a comment from an instructor that our guys are in class right now.
So our fire two class was in, and they were being taught how to cut a door off a vehicle.
And this is where was this?
Harper County Fire.
So this is a fire school that trains all firefighters all over the state.
And this is
Okay.
recently, this was in the last week.
Last week. So they were being instructed to cut the hinge. And one of our students said, we should cut the harness first so the door won't be hanging when you cut the hinges. And they want to know where they learned that. He said, that's what we're taught in Newington. And they were like, couldn't believe it. The instructor said, we all learn something new all the time.
Wow. And I think they're making that their policy now, that you cut the harness first and then cut the hinge. That's just from one of our young green guys telling a seasoned instructor. It's incredible.
Yeah, I say this almost every meeting. I'm continually impressed with our department. We've grown by leaps and bounds.
Thank you, Commissioner. Very nice remarks. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Commissioner Frank Demand.
Wow. I'm not even sure that I can top all of these comments, and that,
If you
basically,
do any more,
yeah, no,
it's like the heads aren't gonna be able to get through the door.
that's what I'm
That's what the
afraid
doors
of.
are like.
That's why the doors are off.
Oh, and I thought that was for the floor.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. My time here is not as extensive as the two gentlemen to my left. But what I have seen, what I have learned in these last 3 years, and knowing what I've known from way back in the day, this department has made tremendous bounds, improvements, and it's only because of the gentleman that we have leading this department, along with the firefighters. And we have an outstanding cadet division. I had the opportunity to speak to a woman the other day. When she noticed that I was wearing a fire department jacket, she was asking me about the fire department and if we had cadets. And I told her about our cadet program. She comes from Unionville. And she wanted to know if Unionville or Farmington had a cadet program. And I said, geez, I'm sorry, I don't know. She was telling me how her grandson, who's 14 years old, is really interested in the fire service. So I told her, I said, reach out to any one of the departments in Farmington. I says, I would suspect that they would have a cadet program, but then again, I'm not sure. And when I was telling her about our cadet program, she was just like totally amazed and just blown away. And I said, and that's only because of the people that we have leading this department and everyone that's involved. So, every single day I get the opportunity to either listen to calls. Generally, sometimes I might sneak into one and just observe, and it just amazes me every single time the tones go off at the amount of people that we have that we're able to respond, whether it's during the day, nighttime, weekends, just amazing. So, kudos to each and every one of the members of this department. And again, my hat's off to the command staff, because if it wasn't for you people, none of this would be, in the right place. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm not gonna repeat what the two gentlemen on each side of me have said, but I totally agree with them. But I would like to make a remark about the individuals that took the project on and fixing up our new room, and great job. We have some finishing touches that we still have to do, but finally got a nice new floor, got rid of that ugly rug. Got some new blinds, the lights, walls painted. We got a beautiful mural on the wall. And it's there for use. So thank you from the chief on down for whoever participated in planning in the directing of the new room. Thank you.
A lot of hard work went into it.
Yep.
It looks great.
And thank the council for
Approving
the funding
last year.
to
Absolutely.
having this get done, because one of the last things in this 1969 house that needed updating very badly. So we got a couple of locker rooms yet that we gotta take care of, but we'll eventually get there. So that's all I have for remarks.
Motion to adjourn.
Just one thing, I'd like to wish everybody, however you celebrate your Easter season, blessings to that. Whether you celebrate Easter or Ramadan or what,
Celebrate flowers.
That's right.
please come support your local fire company. They'll be selling flowers at the firehouses. It's our fundraiser for the year, and that's all I have to say. So happy Easter and whatever you celebrate, and to all of you. That's all I have for remarks, and with motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good job.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent.